Today I'm checking out this oil extractor kit that was sent to me so I could do the review. Let's get it out of the box, see everything it comes with, and test it out. So in the box, you're gonna get the main extractor. It's very large, so I'll show that in a second. It comes with an assortment of hoses. You've got your main extraction hose, extensions. You got a soft, flexible hose here with a check valve. You've got extra seals there, a manual. It comes with a European style air plug, but it already has the US style air plug in it. So if you're ordering this and you're using the European style air plug, you'll just want to take the US style out and put the European one in. This is the part I'm talking about here. This is the US style plug. This is the European style plug. This right here is if you want to use like your air compressor to suck the fluids into this. It creates a vacuum and then it lets it pull the fluids in. Or you can just use the pump handle here and just create your own vacuum manually with that, which will then also suck the fluids in. Really easy to pull fluids into these kind of things. So I don't ever really use this part, but if you're doing a lot of fluid exchanges, you might, get used to hooking that up. But a couple pumps on this should get us going. So on the oil extractor here, it's got this metal piece. That is so you can set it on the ground and have a place to put your foot if you're pumping this thing manually. Because when you pull up on this handle, it's going to want to pull up on the tank. And with your foot on it, that will allow you to hold it down to the ground. This is a cap that it came with to cover that hole right there. It's just a seal cap to keep the fluids in there when you have them in there or to keep this tank clean. This is where you connect your hoses. This is the manual pump handle right here. You'll just manually pump this to create a vacuum in your tank, or again, you can hook it up to an air compressor air line for it to create the vacuum for you. Let's use it. So I'm going to be using this oil extractor to pull some transmission fluid out of our SUV. One, I want to sample the fluid that's in there, but two, I want to put a conditioner in. So I need to pull about 20 ounces of fluid out of the transmission and put it into this. To do it is very simple. So a few pumps and you can see the transmission fluid's already coming out. I just need to keep an eye on how much comes out. Of course, if I take a little too much out, I can put it back in. I can see the fluid coming down the line right here. Of course, I could make it come out a lot quicker. If I put on an air hose here and did it that way, it would come out a lot quicker because you'd have a lot more pressure. Of course, if you put in too much air pressure through that, you could collapse this container here. Doesn't supposed to have that much air pressure going through it. You're just there to create a small vacuum. Every time I pump that up and down, I can hear more fluid coming into the unit. I can already see it filling down here on the bottom, which is probably already enough for me to pull it out. Of course, I could completely drain the transmission if I wanted to. I could fill it into here, and if this fills up, you could just push this button here to cancel the vacuum. That lets the vacuum out of the tank and stops it pulling in. Then I could drain the line and I could drain the tank and start it again if I wanted. So again, this button right here can release the pressure, or if you want to release all the pressure quickly, you can just turn this open if you have this version that has the pneumatic vacuum on it. And you do that by just twisting it. So this is off, this is on, it let all of that vacuum out. So when I twisted this open, it let all the vacuum out and I could just see that oil fall back down the line and go back into the transmission. If this was oil, transmission fluid, hydraulic oil, whatever it is that you're trying to pull from something, you can vacuum that out into this tank. You can dump that as many times as you need and just keep pulling it out. So as you can see, I pulled out about what I wanted. I didn't want to go too much. Like I said, I'm just adding some additive, but now I can also check out this fluid and see what it looks like. This was just a sample of what you can do with these. I mean, they're just great for extracting any kind of fluids for anything. I love using these things on like lawnmowers, things like that. So that way I can just stick it in there, drain the oil out, fill the oil back in and be on your way. If you do your own maintenance on your cars or on your equipment, you really need one of these. I really like it. I think you will too. And I hope all of this information was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.